Okay, we're at the Battle of Plattsburgh. Here we go. So this over here is Cumberland Head, and at the front there, that is the disused lighthouse. It doesn't look like a disused lighthouse, but it'll do. Jutting out into the bay, the British squadron lined up just as rounded Cumberland Head. That's the northern part of Crab Island, and then round the back of Bay, the American squadron lined up in full battle array. Cumberland Head in reality was probably quite heavily wooded, but we haven't put too many trees on because they just tend to get in the way in war games. The area around it is rather shallow water, so both sides do have to be careful they don't run aground, especially with the larger ships. We can see the American squadron. This is what I will be commanding in the battle. And just to briefly go through what we've got here, in the lead is USS Eagle. Second in line is the USS Saratoga, that's the squadron flagship. Third is the USS Ticonderoga, a very large schooner. And at the back, the small sloop Preble. And behind them, massed around, are the various American rowing galleys. The Americans have got slightly fewer rowing galleys than the British, but theirs are on average slightly larger. So we can see the British squadron formed up here. On the right side we've got a sloop called the Chub. Next to it a brig called the Linnet. Then the squadron flagship, HMS Confiance. Confiance is a proper fifth-rate frigate and very much the most powerful vessel actually on the board. Next to Confiance we've got another sloop, the Finch. And then massed upon the left flank is the whole melange of rowing galleys. We don't have an awful lot of information on the rowing galleys. They're very temporary kind of boats thrown together, easily dismantled after a battle. The names are, well, something I've casualed from the internet. Whether or not they're accurate or not, I don't know. They're certainly the kind of names the British would use. They're named after people. Sir George Provost, who's the governor. Brock, obviously, Tecumseh, two of their major heroes. The two squadrons are, at the start here, around about 600 yards apart, which means they're just coming into effective gun range. Now the rules we'll be using today are Northern Moat, which is a special set of rules for recreating naval operations on the Great Lake in the War of 1812. I wrote it a few years back now. It's available on the Wargames Vault. I shall put a link in the description. It's a very big and thick book because it's got a lot of the ship detail sheets for all the ships that were available to both sides in the war. The scenario is also written by me. It's the Battle of Plattsburgh. It's basically an addendum for Northern Moat. We've got several of these out. Now in the game that we're going to do today, every single ship is a diagrammatic representation of its abilities and capabilities. The three of the British rowing galleys. So we've got the national identifier, the arcs of fire, how they can move, the speeds under different conditions, and what they're armed with. And down here we've got written down what the effective damage and range of those guns is. So we can do it straight from the sheets. We don't have to look at the main rules, which will hopefully speed things up a little bit. All I need now is an opponent. What the... Fortunately, that ugly person just avoided me then. Oh, there he is. Well, I suppose he'll have to do. Okay, it's turn number one. In this game, movement is simultaneous, but we were so far apart, and in any case, as the American commander, I'm very happy with my deployment. I don't intend to move at all. So I'm going to just stay here and shoot the nefarious Brits as they try and approach.
It's all right, Jonathan. I'm coming.
But before we do, though, we have a little start. The start of the game, there's a possibility that the wind and wave conditions may change.
Of course.
So, can you roll a 10-sided die to see if the wind veers? Here we go.
Oh, for the wind! 2.
No.
It does not.
And finally, is the wind going to strengthen or weaken?
Is it going to strengthen or weaken? And 8.
It is going to change. So, can you roll to see what it changes to, please?
There we go.
Already, God is on the side of the British because that roll he made, the wind is actually increasing, whereas in real life it actually slowed. It means the British are coming in much quicker. 4 forward, straight forward.
4-4.
Oh dear.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
These bad boys.
Now these are rowing galleys. Rowing galleys only move at 2, and then you get to turn once.
Okay, so let's do this.
So the British are coming straight for me.
Huzzah, I say, huzzah!
The Americans are anchored and are not going to move. We're just going to stay here and shoot at you.
Here we come, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, John Bull. Here we go. But I'm going to let the British shoot first because they're so limited.
Because we're the best.
None of their ships are in arc because they haven't got any forward-firing guns apart from the rowing galleys. So we're going to get a salvo from the leading rowing galleys. So we're going to start off with the Tecumseh. So roll 1 dice, please, to see if
One
you get a
dice.
hit. 1 dice. Here we go.
Tecumseh is 7.
Missed. The next time along, it's the Brock.
Is a
Miss. And then we've got the Sir George Prevost. Is a miss. It's the Sir James Yeo.
Huzzah!
James Yeo being the commander of the British Lake Ontario Squadron. It looks like he scored a hit on the Ticonderoga. That is not what you want to do. That is a very unpleasant
That's
thing.
entirely what I wanted to do.
It's a very unpleasant kind of thing to do that. So you scored a single hit on...
With a 24 long gun. That's about right.
Bang.
Right in the centre, where I can see you.
That's the end of the British shooting. You've done 1 point of damage to the Ticonderoga.
Still 1 point more than you.
Ah, but I haven't fired yet.
The Americans are about to return in kind.
It's a strange name, isn't it? Boring. 1, 2,
It's pretty
3,
boring,
4,
isn't
5,
it?
6. Right, 24 pound long gun. Fire! Missed.
Huzzah!
Drat. All right. Well, forget about the borer. It's obviously useless. We shall go on to the Eagle next online. Right, Eagle.
Eagle!
Now, Eagle and the broadside has got 4 18-pound long guns.
Ooh.
Wow, that's pretty
Definitely in range.
So we shall concentrate our fire on your flagship. You're in range of my carronades as well, which is great. Okay, we've got 4...
As we know, though, not as accurate.
4 18-pounder long guns. Here we go. 2 hits.
Huzzah!
2 single hits. And then we've got 6 32-pounder carronades. One hit. So I managed a grand total of 3 hits on your poxy flagship. We're taking it very slowly at the moment, guys. This will go very quickly once we've got things going.
Give you an idea of how the mechanics work on the game.
Yeah. Not too much though. I want to sell these. Well, I do. I did a tiny bit of damage. You're all right there.
Little bit of a spread.
Right.
Okay.
On to the next American vessel. Range of 19, and it's the USS Centipede.
Wow.
Yeah, the Americans got some very odd names for these ships.
I think we're running out of ideas at this point, don't you?
I don't know, Centipede, I suppose it's not a bad name for a rowing galley. I mean, it looks a bit like a centipede, doesn't it? I suppose.
God, if centipedes are tipped to the water, we're
He
doomed.
rolled a 10, so it missed rather dramatically. Right, so we'll see if the Allen next to it can do any better. Yes, it scored a hit.
Huzzah!
Allen has scored a hit.
Boo to the Jonathans.
Moving on to...
Tis but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch, indeed, so. Moving on to the fleet flagship, the Saratoga. Oh, Saratoga, you're so wonderful. I love you so much. Right, okay, we'll also fire at the enemy flagship. That's a single hit and 2 doubles. 6 32-pounder carronades. 2 more singles. And then finally, staggeringly, incredibly, 3 42-pounder carronades. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me those existed.
And they missed. Fantastic. Nettle. Nettle, yeah. Going to take a shot straight to that sloop right in front of me. Here we go. Missed. So we're now back onto Ticonderoga. Now Ticonderoga actually got hit. And she's very upset about this, so she's going to return fire.
Mm-hmm.
She can't fire at your flagship, and tragically, it's a bit depressing, so I will actually fire at... I'll fire at the one that shot at me. I will. I'll shoot at that one. I'll fire at that...
Wait. You, the honourable Americans, are going to shoot at the vulnerable paddling boats.
Listen, we may be honourable, but we're also... we are also very pragmatic and practical.
That's the one.
4 12-pounder long guns. pretty pathetic, isn't it, Ticonderoga? Range 24 12-pound long guns. Oh, dear me. Alright. They've got one hit though. Bang. And then we've also got 3 32-pounder carronades. Missed. We've got a 32-pounder pivot carronade. Missed. And we've also got some 18-pounder long guns. 2 18-pounder long guns.
Pride of the fleet.
One more hit. The next along the line we've got the Burrows, which is another one of our 24-pound long gun rowing boats. It'll fire at the same target. Missed. And we've got the Preble, which is our sloop. Preble's quite well armed actually. 3 12-pounder long guns. Mind you, she missed. And it's not some very good gunnery here, is it? She's got an 80-pound carronade which is out of range, and she's got a 12-pound pivot long gun.
That'll be the one.
It does, it hits. And that concludes the firing from the American jury. Right, so that was it. Turn 2. We have to keep a record because there's a chance that the wind may change. The problem with using 20-sided dice, it takes forever to change them. There it is. Turn 2. There we go. Right, turn 2 movement. What's happened? Well, there's been a little bit of shuffling with the American lines. As the rowing galleys have moved around a little bit.
Hopefully back to their lines.
Yes, don't ignore the limey cynicism over there. Over here, the Burrows has moved through between them, and Preble has shifted out of position. Everything else is just staying put. The British have continued sweeping forward, but they've turned at the end of the movement to expose their broadsides, so it's going to be a bit more even, this firing. The rowing galleys have just moved straight up.
And of course, now that I'm only basing one gun...
Yes, alright, Mr. Picky insisted I put a single battery on rather than 3. It was always going to be 1, but I didn't have the model, so it made me clamber over half the flipping furniture in the house to get over a single gun battery, because he is a... Well, I won't say on this family channel what he is, but he is one. I'd say that right here and now.
Whatever it is, I'm in the dictionary.
We'll have a little look at it there. Look, it's quite a... It's taken from my War of 1812 land rules. You know,
Oh,
so there we go. Yeah, you see. Just
you know how we kind of beat you?
I hate him so much. Okay, turn 2, and we can look here at the Saratoga. It took some very heavy damage, particularly from Confiance. Confiance did a lot of damage, 5 triple hits.
Some good gunnery there.
Very good gunnery, and nicely matched as well. Almost knocked out one of the carronades. I think we might have actually killed some crew members as well, which is a bit bad.
That's always what I like to hear.
So yeah, it's going quite well for the Brits here at the moment. Very impressive.
We shall await to receive.
Yeah, you certainly shall. The Linnet did quite a lot of damage as well. I think Chubb missed, and all the rowing galleys missed, but it's still pretty effective gunnery, that. So time for the Americans to return fire. Well, that concludes the firing from the American jury. Eagle did very well, but the rest
did extraordinarily well.
Yeah, but the rest of it was pretty iffy, really.
I have a feeling they were probably,
a bit rattled. Yeah.
Well, okay. No, I think the Eagle, of course, was probably, Brits at one point before they defected. So, that's probably why.
If you're an American and watching this, I do apologise for this terrible display of Anglophile nonsense. Okay, let's move on to turn number 3. Right, movement for turn 3. The rowing galleys continue their majestic movement forward. Finch has been left out on her own where she can get shot a lot, and the rest of them seem to be pushing in close to the head, which is a bit dangerous. Getting into range where they might be running aground. They're shallow draft ships at the front, but you're really careful with Confiance. You're going to much closer, and she's going to hit the rocks.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be well away from those in a minute.
The Americans have basically continued to stay exactly where they are, but there's been a bit of movement with the rowing galleys. The Boar, Centipede and Allen have pushed forward for a bit, and 2 of the smaller ones have come in around here to try and block British off. And there's been a bit of movement around here as well, which doesn't seem to be achieving very much. So there we are, and the Invalids are now ready to shoot. I forgot to shoot in last go, but we're going to say that they were just busy hobbling out of the hospital.
Had to grab his peg leg.
Yeah, indeed. He's utterly merciless, you know that, don't you? Right, firing has all been completed for turn 3.
Indeed.
And it was a bit rowdy. The British rowing galleys hit the Ticonderoga a little bit. Saratoga's taken quite a lot, actually. Eagles also taken quite a bit of pace. And a lot of British firepower being concentrated on this top end, the north side of the line. In return, however, Conference, I believe, has lost 2 cannons.
Indeed.
Yes. Do that as we turn over to turn number 4. If I can find the right number, there it is. We are on turn 4. Turn 4 is complete. Badger, Commodore Downie, is looking very smug. He has managed to manoeuvre, but he's turned Conference, so her undamaged side is facing Eagle, which is looking good for her. The rowing galleys are still charging forward. The Americans are basically still sticking pity, but they have moved some of the rowing galleys, especially over here, where the borer is moving to engage the chub. We're looking like charge forward and board her. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty. That's not going to work out well, is it? No, I can see that coming. Okay, we've completed shooting on turn number 4.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Indeed, indeed. And if we have a quick look at it, the Saratoga is getting a little bit soft there. She's lost a couple of guns, and she's lost quite a lot of crew, and the third lieutenant is out of it as well. The Saratoga is on fire, so Commodore Macdonough might be a bit ashen soon, literally. Tico's taken a little bit of damage, not very much. Eagle's taken a bit of damage, not a great deal. And Bora has taken a bit of a thumping, but she's still not any way needed to reroll for morale or anything.
So far, we've got, unfortunately, Sir James Yo, who for some reason everybody hates, is looking a bit soft in the front. They're probably bailing water out as we speak. We've not got much for anybody else here, apart from the chub, the small chub and the small finch, because, you know, Jonathan, of course, has to pick on the small guy, as he always does. And Confiance is doing alright. She's
taking a bit of damage.
She's taking a bit of damage, but she's got a lot more damage she can take. So
lost the bowsprit though, haven't you? So you can't turn as much. Saratoga has also lost her bowsprit, yeah, so not as mobile. Okay, well, let's go over. We're going to go over to turn 5 for movement. You know what I think, Badger? You are a very poor winner.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of ventilation happening in your ships right now.
Well, I can see quite a lot of black marks on yours as well. I mean, the Finch got a bit of a thump in there, didn't it?
You mean the Finch got picked on, is what you're saying?
Well, that's because of your marked tactical limitations. You put her right in the middle of all the shooting. Okay, well, the end of the conclusion of the shooting, things have picked up. It was quite strange, really. At the end of the last turn, both sides done exactly the same amount of damage to each other, haven't they, pretty much? The British have lost more crew, 17 to 11, but apart from that...
a large one, though, so...
Yeah, it's very, very even. I still think the Americans have got a slight edge at the moment, but only slight. Anyway, we're going to go into turn number 6. Next turn, it'll be rolling for see if there's a change in weather, which could make a huge difference. And we got to the stage now where we've just been moving because we're too far away, but from now on, I'm going to write down my moves. James will then make his moves, and I will reveal what I've decided, so that there's an element of surprise, so that there's any chance of us colliding or making a complete tactical mock-up. Okay, turn 6 moving has finished. The British have effectively just edged forward and tried to put themselves more into line. These things have just moved along. Another group has broken away to try and overwhelm the American galleys. The Americans have gone all over the place, really. The formation's kind of breaking up. Ticonderoga has tried turn. Saratoga's done her special kedge move turn. Unfortunately, the Viper seems to have got right in the way of it, which is a bit of a problem on my part.
It's alright, I don't mind if you fire on your own ships.
I'm sure you don't. And over here, the Eagle has manoeuvred around into position. And that is as they see it. I haven't been outmanoeuvred by the British, but I think I might very well outmanoeuvre myself. My ships are going to get in each other's way. Okay, we're going to do some shooting now, and we'll see what happens at the end of that.
So, Eagle is about to fire at Linnet, but Linnet has not been hit before. Oop.
That's some pretty good shooting from the Eagle's done very well so far with the shooting. That is a triple.
Oh.
And 3 singles.
Triple and 3 singles. Roger that.
Linnet is going to open fire on the Saratoga. There's Linnet.
With all 8.
That's got all 8. You're 7 hexes away.
7 hexes. Roger that.
It's about 200 yards. A bit less than 200 yards. Here they come. That's not bad at all.
That one's out.
So that's 2 triples, 3 doubles, 3, 5, 8, actually 4 doubles and a single.
How's that?
Pretty good shooting. I'm very sad for the confidence just fired on the Ticonderoga at very moderate ranges, and it has done horrific amounts of damage.
Had to happen.
I mean, something like 40 odd points in one go. And it's only at moderate range. What happens if we get close in? It's going to blow me to bits.
Sovereign of the Sea, anyone?
Right, so now go on to the most important thing, which is the wind change. Because we are now on turn 7, and at the very start, there's a possibility that the wind will alter.
I rolled the last wind, I guess I'll let you roll this one.
I thought you were better at wind. Wap, 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 wap.
Wah, wah.
Okay, on a 6+. Is it veering that direction?
Is that good for you or good for me?
It's good for you.
There we go. The wind could save us.
Wind strength. Now this could be interesting as well. 6+. No, the wind is not getting any lighter. That's good. Because if it got much heavier than strong, the galleys would all have to go home. But fortunately, that is not the case. So we are now on time for the Americans to write down their orders. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. It's amazing, isn't it?
What?
Badger Wilson. Commodore Badger Downie.
Huzzah.
Manoeuvring these ships as if he has any idea what he's doing.
I mean, I like to think I do, but I'm definitely...
He doesn't.
Definitely
he hasn't
winging it.
That's not a clue.
I was never made for the water. I've got legs, damn it.
The thing is he going to turn and charge at me? He might do that.
I could do that.
Well, you know, if you turn like that, you belt forward by about 5 hexes.
Unless I drop a sail.
Eh?
Unless I drop a sail.
Yeah. I don't know what to talk about that. Yeah.
Drop a sail?
Yes.
What do you think I was saying?
It's not the usual way of saying it, but...
Well, I'm not the usual person playing these.
That's very, very true.
Finch is there. Might be a bit rusty there.
Get your money's worth out of her before she sinks.
Something like that, yeah.
Many a naval decision has been made on worse grounds than that, I can tell you. I think we're going to end up with some collisions here.
I think we're going to have some collisions here, so I'll move there and then I'm going to...
Turn like that. Okay.
What do I want to do? I'm going to move 1, move 2, and then I'm going to...
Oh, this is not what I expected.
No? Why?
I don't know, but I think there's going to be problems with Tico in the Confiance.
You're about to collide because Americans can't sail. Oh no!
I'd like to apologise to all my transatlantic cousins for that foul insinuation. They are the people, after all, who had the America's Cup.
What?
The America's Cup.
I'm already clenching for this one.
You're going to move by it. Oh God. That's not a very commanding position to be in, is it?
Ooh.
That's not good. Mummy.
Fear not, we'll look after you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Oh, the wind.
The wind, the wind.
It's a cruel mistress. This is the horrible bit. Wait, you took out your own little boat? Poor Burrows.
I haven't moved it yet. Should have got out of the way, I hope. That's what's worrying me, right?
Optimism.
We're that close to the blooming Confiance. You nearly blew it to bits last time.
Yeah, you're going to have to there, otherwise she's not going to be much use.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, dear.
That's not good. I've just run into my own ship.
The great commander there.
Shut up, you. Just a slight mischeck, that's all. Is
the burrow safe?
It is, yeah. Well, kind of. Considering where she's at, it's kind of safe. Right, so there's a couple of possible collisions there, isn't there? They've tangled.
Huzzah!
They've stuck with each other. They've basically run into each other. And over there...
This could be the fun one.
So they're tangled into each other as well. But this one moved second, so it's stuck into it, that. Great, so we can't move either of them now.
So just to clarify, they have to untangle first, yeah?
Untangle myself. They can shoot at things, but they can't move until they're untangled. That's not very good. I'm not bothered about those, but it's a bit bad that Preble's got that.
Well, as you can see, the glorious turnout of blind moving, we have ended up with a few intricacies.
You see if you do any better.
All right then. So we shall do some shooting, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Tico and Confiance are going to go for a rematch in spite of last time when they got a bit of a hammering.
And now they are 2 hexes away.
Yeah, they're going to blow each other to bits here. But it's definitely going to go worse for Tico. 2 £32 carronades. Oh, that's appalling. That's a 2. That's it. Oh,
2 and a miss.
2 and a miss. Terrible.
They must be getting shooken up.
I'm not surprised. £18 long guns. That's another 2.
Oof.
And then I've got my £12 long guns, which is the main armament. Unfortunately, they're only £12 long guns. Oh, that's great. Especially not when you roll like that. That's pretty bad. It's only 5 2s and 3 1s. This is not going to be very good. It's not in great shape as it is.
All 13 of them.
13 long guns, oh dear me. Mental note, don't fight the Confidence at short range with one of the smaller ships. That's the 4s, we've weathered that. Kind of.
Well, she took it.
5 possible officer kills. Second and the 3rd lieutenant have both been killed. It's turn 7, the game seems to be turning against the Americans. Badger is either lucky or he's a good deal more astute than I give him credit for. But he just seems to be able to manoeuvre the ships, and half my ships can't seem to shoot, and he's got his at really short range and doing a lot of damage. I mean, he must have dished out 70-80 points of damage last turn, and I think I only did about half that much back. But we're still in there, we're still with a shout. It's getting to the stage now where 1 or 2 ships are beginning to having to make rolls for morale to stop, to keep on fighting. In another couple of turns, I think things are going to start to shake out. Ships will begin to surrender. Look at this, the majestic British rowing galley just sweeping into action.
1, 2, and you're going to keep going. Winner, she's a bit marked.
She is very marked. It's a nice looking ship. Short.
It's a very good looking ship.
Short, fat little ship, really.
She is a bit stocky, not fat.
Very, very shallow drafted. That helps. Stable gun platform as well. Badger's graphs of tactics largely consist of making sure that he's got the side with the most guns facing towards the enemy.
That's entirely it.
That's it. That's the sum total of his strategy and tactics.
I mean,
knowledge.
has it worked so far?
Shut up.
Done. Right, now time for the Americans.
This is where I find out I've been an idiot or not. That's a collision.
Huzzah! Nice.
Already.
Oh dear.
Borer.
She'll be somewhere over there because she was running away. I mean, strategically retreating in another direction. Oh, I see. Using a ship as your shield, eh?
No. It's perfectly strategic.
Cough.
Stupid thing.
Was that a wise move?
No, it's an absolutely terrible move. I didn't think you'd do that. Anyway, I hate you. I hate you so much. I've been outmanoeuvred again, haven't I?
I believe so. And this is going to be hilarious.
Do we want to tangle between the Burrows and the Sir Sidney Beckwith? I don't.
Why do you not want to tangle?
Because it takes 2 to tangle. Most American fire concentrates on the Linnet, which took quite a lot of stick, and also on 1 or 2 of these. That one there and that one there have both been quite badly damaged.
I should say
Finch has also been hit, and so
the Prevost, of course, has now got a lot of its front missing, but all its officers ducked quite smartly. They did, as they were fired at by what was left of the guns of this one.
Right, so I'm going to do morale checks. First of all, we've got starting with the Saratoga.
Yep.
Saratoga is fine. The Wilma is fine with a 10. Ludlow doesn't need 1. Ballard doesn't need 1. Aylwin needs 1. She's fine as well. Ticonderoga, oh yes, 10, she's fine. The Americans are still very keen on the fighting. Burroughs is okay. Bora is okay. Viper is in trouble. But fortunately she's got a captain who can try and reorder them.
After how many officers are down?
And he does, he shouts very loud.